Hello. Hello. Amit audible, sir? Hello, Amit. Hello. 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 Audible? चारों आवाज तू अनम्यूट करते अरे अजून म्यूटच बताओ.
हेलो.
हाँ ठीक से आएगा. ठीक है. Okay, so today we are going to start with Amazon Virtual Private Cloud. So I hope you have gone through all the previous lectures and all the demo and all the practicals you have done, right? So this is something, a new topic which we are going to start today, that is about Amazon Virtual Private Cloud. So what VPC is? So Amazon VPC lets you provision a logical isolated section of AWS cloud where you can launch AWS resources in a virtual network. So here you can define your own network, and in your own network you can launch AWS services. So this is something called as a VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. This is purely a networking service. You can get complete control over your virtual networking environment. So this is something which is a networking service that named as Virtual Private Cloud. This includes selection of IP range. You can select your own IP range. You can select your subnets and the configurations of route tables and network gateways. Provision private isolated network on AWS cloud. Have a complete control over your virtual networking environment. So whenever you create AWS account, you will by default get one virtual VPC, Amazon VPC already created in all the regions, right? So if you go and choose Amazon Mumbai, there also you will get one default VPC already enabled in that, right? So default VPC is like it is created by Amazon. You can, if you do not want to create your own VPC, you can directly go and start using default VPC, which is already created by Amazon itself. The difference in that is the only main difference is that is something which is already created and you can start using it immediately without any kind of hassles of creating your own VPC. And the other difference is that the default VPC always there in a public subnet. So there is no private or no public concept. So it is all the subnets which are there in default VPC are in public subnets. So this is how we are going to create. So this is something which is your VPC, which is in one of the AWS region, and one of the so VPC consists of a region, and in region, what we are going to do, we are going to create our own networking. Let me start then. So this is what we are going to start Amazon VPC. So this is what we are going to create in our practical lab. We will be creating one VPC, which will be in one of the region. So if we are going to be in North Virginia, so we will be creating one VPC in North Virginia, and below that we will be creating one network range. So we will choose either any of this network range. So these are the range which can be used as a private subnet ranges in Amazon. So ranges can be like 10.0.0 to 10 by 8 prefix, and the other range is 172.16.0.0, and it is like 172.16 oblique 12. Then 192.168.0.0 to oblique 16, right? So this is something we generally use for home network or a basic networking, right? So these are the network range which you can choose to create your main network and subnets in different availability zones. So one network range which we are going to choose from this, and after that we will be creating subnets in different availability zones, these subnets. And for subnets we will be creating route tables. So here we will create one public subnet and one private subnet. This will be one public and one private. This will be private subnet and this will be public subnet, and routing tables for both of them as a separate routing tables. We will create network access control list for both of them. And then we will have one internet gateway attached to one public subnet, so that all the internet traffic can be routed through internet gateway. Then on top of it, what we'll be doing is we will be creating instances in public subnet and one instance in private subnet. We will see how this can communicate over an internet, how we can access private subnet through public subnet uh, instance or through a bastion host, right? So this is what we are going to learn in this section. If you are new to networking, then you can choose how we can choose your IP range, how many blocks we get in different ranges. So right, so this is one link which you can use for selecting or finding out how many IP address you get generally with different subnets, right? So this is one of the CIDR.xyz is one of the good website. So here you can choose your default whatever range you want, right? So this will be the range of slash, let's say for example 24. So your IP address will be like 256 IP you will get. If you go and select 16, so that is 65,000 IP you will get. So this is how you can design your own IP range using this CIDR.xyz. So this is what we are going to use for today's lesson, and we will be creating our own VPC. So what is VPC and what is subnet? A subnet defines a range of IP addresses in your VPC. So we will be creating subnets for different availability zones. You can launch AWS resources into a subnet that you select. So whatever instances or whatever resources we are going to launch, that will be launched in particular subnets. A private subnet should be used for the resources that won't be able to access over the internet. So private subnet will be used for a reason wherein no one can access those resources directly over the internet. For example, if you want to host a web application which is having a backend database or backend APIs, right? So you want your database to be secure, right? So you can host your database in a private subnet, and your front end will be your website or your front end will be in the public subnet. So public subnet will be, your front end will be accessible over the internet, but your backend traffic will be through a private networking. A public subnet should be used for the resources that will be accessed over the internet. So whenever we launch any instance in private subnet, we will not get public IP address in that. We will only get one IP address, that is a private IP address. And whenever we launch any services or instances in public subnet, we will be getting two IP addresses. One is private and one is public. Each subnet must reside entirely within one availability zone and cannot span zones. So whenever we create a subnet, that will reside in one single availability zone. You can create multiple subnets in one availability zone, but one subnet cannot be expanded over multiple availability zones. VPC and subnet, again, it is the same. VPC is a logical networking. It is residing in AWS data center. It consists of internet gateways, NAT gateways, route tables, network access control list, subnet security groups. So as we have discussed, one subnet is equal to one availability zones, and one availability zone is equal to one data center. One subnet cannot be used with multiple subnets. I think there is one mistake here. One subnet cannot be used with multiple availability zones. Multiple subnets in one availability zone can be possible. You can create multiple subnets in one single availability zone. That is possible, but you cannot expand or you cannot use one single subnet in multiple availability zones. VPC lab we are going to perform. So this is what we are going to do. This is what we are going to do a setup of. So we will be setting up a lab. We will be having a network of 10.0.0.16. So this will be our master network. And in that, we will be creating public subnet and private subnet. In public subnet, again, there will be two subnets. One will be in availability zone 1 and another will be in availability zone 2. So that is again, the range will be like 10.0.1.0 and 10.0.2.0. And these ranges will be /24. Private subnet, again, there are two subnets or there are two subnets in private subnet, 3.0 and 4.0. Again, it will be /24. We will associate the subnet to an appropriate route table. So we will be creating two route tables, one for public and one for private. We will be attaching an internet gateway to public subnet so that we can get a public IP and all the instances will be having internet access. We will be providing internet routes. So whenever we are going to create route tables, so in route tables, we will be assigning internet routes so that all the traffic over the internet can go through this internet gateway. We will be creating EC2 instances both in public subnet and private subnets. So we will be creating one instance is public subnet so that we know how we can define the subnet or how we can choose the subnets and how we can get the access of public subnet instances. And the same way we will be creating private subnet instance and we will see how we can access that private subnet instance through various different methods. So these are some of the reserved IPs. So whenever you go and create a subnet, so by default 5 IPs gets reserved with Amazon. So here is the list for what it is reserved. 10.0.1.0, for example, this is for the example this subnet. So we are going to create one subnet in this range. So in this we will be reserving 5 IP addresses. So one out of which one is 1.0. This is for network address. 1.1 it is reserved for VPC router. 1.2 it is reserved for DNS. 1.3 reserved for future use. So it is not clear for what use. And 1.255 it is again for network broadcast. So in /24 subnet, we should be getting 255 IP addresses, right? But instead of that, we will be getting 251 IP addresses as usable IP. I hope this is clear, Amit.
Yeah, it is fine.
So now we will go and just launch a VPC and we will see how we can set up that VPC. અરે પેલો ભાઈ તો તારો જબરો છે પેલો પરાગ.
હું થયું?
કામ કરીને થેન્ક યુ બોલીને જતો રહ્યું પાર્ટી.
તો
સાલો
પણ
મારો
પૈસા લેવાય ને, કહી દેવાય ને.
કલાક બગાડ્યો મારો.
અરે યાર, કામ કરે એટલે પૈસા લઈ જ લેવાના, ધંધામાં શરમ શું?
એટલે મેં કીધું એ કેસે સામેથી. મેં કીધું પૂછશે પાર્ટી.
ના 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 ના, એ ભાઈ પ્યોર મેહાણીઓ છે, એ થોડો પૂછે.
તો હવે બીજી વાર વિચારીને
ના
કરું.
ના ના ના, મેસેજ કરી દેવાનો, ભાઈ આટલો ચાર્જ થયો છે, ધેટ્સ ઇટ.
પૂછી લઈશ ને.
હા ને, એમાં શું છે લે, ફ્રીમાં થોડું કરવાનું હોય.
ફ્રીમાં થોડી કરવાનું છે, તું બીજાને બી પૈસા આપવાનો જ હતો ને.
હા એમ ને, ચાલો આપણે બીજા પાસે 2000 લઈએ તો આની પાસે 1000 તો લેવાય ને, એ તો વ્યવહારના છે.
સાચી વાત છે. સારું ચલો મ્યુટ કરી
એના કરતા હોશિયાર તો આપણા કલ્પેશભાઈ છે, પૈસા કઢાવવાનું. બહુ એને ફ્રીમાં બધું ક્યાં મળે ને એ પહેલા શોધે.
કલ્પેશ.
હા હા,
હા.
અઘરી નોટ છે.
સારું ચલ મ્યુટ કરી દેજે, હું રેકોર્ડિંગ ચાલે છે એટલે. Okay, so we will be creating VPC, right? So we will go to VPC service, just click on search and type VPC, and here we will go to VPC. Okay, so here in this section you will see I am in North Virginia, and when you go to your VPC you will find one default VPC, and if you have created your own VPC, so here you can see I have also created my own VPC. I will just go and remove this, delete a VPC, delete. So now I have removed my own VPC which I have created. So now you will see there is only one VPC which is a default VPC. So now we will just click on VPC, and here in this, just we will give it a name, my own VPC, and I will give a range 10.0.0.0/16. Whatever range you want you can define. If you want to use IPv6 CIDR block, you can use IPv6, or if you want IPv6 provided by Amazon, you can use that also, right? And if you are not using IPv6, then you can go with IPv4. Tenancy you can select, it will be a default tenancy. Default will be like shared with it will be on a shared hardware, and if you want a dedicated hardware it will be more costlier. So always you go and choose default. You can tag your VPC. I will go and इसमें तो कुछ आया नहीं, एक सेकंड ना. Okay, I think first VPC 10.0.0.0/16, create VPC. Okay, so now your VPC is created. Now what we will do is we will go ahead and create subnets. So here also you can see there are default subnets which are already available. These subnets are created by default VPC. We will not go and use them. We will go ahead and create our own VPC, I mean our own subnets. We will select the VPC which we have created. So it is my first VPC. Click on that. We will give a name. So I prefer to give a name based on the regions. So we will private sub US East 1A. I will give a range of 10.0.1.0/24. Create a subnet. Again, same way I will go and choose same VPC. We'll give it a name 1B, and this will be in different in US, North Virginia, US East 1B. So I'm selecting different availability zones. Just make sure that you also do that, because otherwise if you go and select one single availability zone, it will be all the subnets will be there in one single availability zones, and you will not be able to create highly available architecture. So if you want to create highly available architecture, you must have multiple subnets in multiple availability zones. I will choose UAssist 1B. Again, this will be a private. Create, okay, 1 second, 10.0.2.0/24. Create subnet. Now I have created two private subnets. Now I will create two public subnet. Click on subnet. Again, same my first VPC. Now I will create public subnet UAssist 1A. Again in 1A, 10.0.3.0/24. Create subnet, my first VPC 1B, and this will be public. 10.0.4.0/24. If you want to add more subnets here itself in a one single, then you can add here also, right? Don't need to go and create and go back again. Let me create one more for public 1C. 1C 10.0.0/5.0/24. So what I've done is I've created 3 subnets in public and 2 subnets in private, right? So here you can see there are total 5 subnets we have created. 2 are in private and 3 are in public. So now we will go and create route tables. Click on route tables. Here also, whenever you go and create a VPC, there will be a route table automatically created for that. So here you can see this is the route table which already got created, right? But we will not go and use that. We will go and create our own route tables. We will name it like public RT, public route table. VPC is my first VPC, and click on create. Same way we will create one more. We'll create private RT, my first VPC, and create. Now the next step is just click on public subnet and go to routes. Click on routes. Here you can see, or first of all, just click on public subnet, go to subnet association, and here you need to assign the subnet, right? So which subnet you want to be associated with this particular route table. So just click on edit subnet associations, and the subnets which we have named as public, this 3, 4, and 5, we will select this and click on save. So this subnets will be associated to public route tables, and rest of the 2 subnets will be associated with private route tables. Again, we will go to private, edit subnet associations, and we will select the private 1 and 2, right? So IP range is 1 and 2. Click on save. So now these 2 subnets are associated with private route tables. So now here also you can see 2 subnets and 3 subnets. Now the next thing is we will go and create internet gateway. So internet gateway will be required for having internet access to your public subnet machines, and also to get public IPs to your public subnet resources, right? We will go to internet route tables, internet gateways. We will click on create internet gateway. We will name it as my first IGW. IGW is internet gateway. We'll click on internet gateway. Now what we need to do is the internet gateway which we have created, click on actions and attach to VPC. Attach to VPC. Select a VPC, my first VPC which we have created. Internet gateway can only be attached to one single VPC. It cannot be attached to multiple VPCs. Okay, now we will again go to route tables. And in public route tables, here we will go to routes, and here you can see there is only one route, that is 10.0.0.6/16 local route, right? So what it will do is this will have communication. I mean, all 10.10.0 machines will communicate with each other in this public. I mean, in this subnet. Now we will go and click on edit routes. We will click on add routes, and we will give internet routes. So for internet, it should go to any IP. So this is something which we need to mention, that this is for any IP. And here we need to select internet gateway. And the internet gateway which we have created, it will be displayed here, my first IGW. Just click on that. Same way for IPv6, if you want. This is something we need to write for IPv6. Same internet gateway, IGW, and click on save routes. Now this is something your public subnet is done. For private subnet, we do not want internet access for that particular machine, right? So we will not assign anything to that. We will only associate the subnet to that public route tables, right? Okay. So this is something which we have created a public and private subnet. Now we will go and check whether we will be able to launch instances in those or not, right? Just click on duplicate, go to EC2 instance. Click on instances, click on launch instance. We will choose Amazon Linux 2 AMI, click on select T2 micro. T2 micro next, and here you will get an option in networking section. Currently it is VPC default. What we will do is we will change it to VPC, my VPC, the VPC which we have created. Click on that, and here you will get the subnet option, in which subnet you want to host. So here the subnets which we have created, right? So here you will see the name public 1A, 1C, 1B, 1 private 1A, and private 1B. So whichever subnet you want to host, just click on that subnet. So we will currently host in public subnet 1A. Click on next. We will go with default 8 GB of hard drive. Click on next, add tag. I will give it a name. Public in subnet instance. Click on next security group, the security group which we have created. I think I have removed all the security groups. Let me create one more. We will allow SSH from anywhere. Just click on review and launch. Click on launch, and I will choose my first instance key pair and launch. Same way I will go and launch instance in private subnet. Again, go to EC2. Instances, launch instance, Amazon Linux. T2 micro, VPC is my VPC, and public subnet, private subnet 1A. Next, 8 GB default. I will give it a name. Next, security group, I will choose the same. Review and launch, and launch. Okay. So what we have done is we will go to the diagram and we will see what we have done. So we have created a VPC. We have created subnets, public and private. We have created two routing tables. We have attached internet gateway to public subnet. We have launched one instance here. We have attached a security group. Same way we have launched instance here in private subnet, and we have attached a security group to that. Network ACL is pending. You will see network ACL as well. Okay, so now there are two instances already launched. We will click on public one and see what details we get. So here also you can see we have not got public IP address. The public IP address is des. Why? Because there is one setting which we have missed out. We will again go to VPC section. Let me find out where exactly that is. I think in public route table action. Okay, so this is one setting which we have missed out. We will go to subnets. Subnets, click on subnet. We'll choose public subnets. Click on action. I think we need to do it one by one. Click on action, modify auto assign IP, click on that, and enable auto assign IP public before IP. Click on save. Same way we need to do it for other public subnets. Modify auto assign IP address and enable and save. Go to again subnet, the third one, 1B, click on actions, edit, modify auto assign IP, click on enable auto assign and save. Okay, so now we have enabled auto assign IP addresses on the public subnets, and again we will go and check. We'll go and restart this public subnet instance. Reboot, 1 second. I think it should get. So here in private subnet instance, you will see there will be only one IP address, and that IP address range will be like 10.0.1.0. So the range which we have given, right? So this is how you can create your public and private subnet, and you can choose your resources in specific subnets, whether you want those resources to be in public or those resources to be in private, right? So this is how you can, whenever you go and design your architecture or whenever you go and design your solution, so you can keep these things in mind, and you can design your own private and public subnets, and you can allocate or keep your resources in respective groups. I don't know, should भाई और भी कुछ रह गया क्या? Let me go and check. Just a second, I think I need to just recreate this instance. I'm just removing this instance and I'm creating, or let me just launch one more instance in public again. My VPC, I will go and select public subnet 1C or 1B. Next, next, next. Create an existing, next. We will launch, I agree in launch. Okay, so now you have seen, I think, so when we have launched again, because previously we have not set that enable IPv4 address. So, and the instance which we have launched previously did not get the public IP address, right? And now we have again, after enabling, and we have created again, we have got public IP address for that public subnet. Here you can see we get public IPv4 DNS, and we also got IPv4 public IP address. So this is how you can go and create your public subnet and private subnet. I will again walk you through. So what we have done, we will go to VPC. We will just click on edit DNS host names. Click on that. Here you just need to enable host names. So you will get both IP address and DNS names. So here you can see we get IP address and as well as DNS host names. So if you want both, you need to enable this edit DNS host names, and you need to enable go to subnets, click on public subnets, and from here go to actions and modify auto assign IP, and click on enable auto assign public IPv4 address. So these are the two settings you need to enable to get public IP address to your public subnet instances, right? So this is how your public and private subnet can be created. And now we will see. So you must be knowing that if your instances are in public subnet, you will definitely will be able to go and access your public subnet instances through public IP address. So let us go and access using PuTTY. We will give it a name. This AMI is for Amazon Linux, right? So for Amazon Linux, the default user is EC2 hyphen user at the IP address, and we will go and choose the authentication key, my first instance PPK, and click on OK. So this is how you can see I'm able to access my public subnet instance. Now what we need to do is to access private subnet instance. So let us go and check private subnet IP address. So what is the IP address of private subnet instance? We'll go and check in the networking section, I think. Okay, here it is. We will click the IP address and copy the IP address, and let us try to ping from our public subnet instance. So here you can see I'm not able to ping my public subnet instance. Let me try to access it using SSH, but first of all let me copy the PPK file. I edit, copy the PEM file, and I will create. This is not a good practice to paste your PPK file or PEM file in EC2 instances, but this is just for the practical. I'm doing this. My key.pm file, and I'm just pasting the content. Okay, let me change the permission. chmod 400 my key.pem. Okay, now I will try to access my private subnet instance from this ssh -i my key.pem ec2 user @ IP address. So here you can see I am able to access my private subnet IP address SSH. I am not able to ping because ICMP was not enabled, but I am able to access SSH because SSH port is enabled and we have kept it enabled for everyone. I mean all the IPs from anywhere. So now I'm able to access my private subnet instance. So this is how you can this is how you can design your architecture so that internally they should be able to communicate using private subnet IP addresses, but the private subnet instances cannot be accessed over public IP or cannot be accessed over internet, right? So this is one thing, right? And there is one more need which you will have in future. For example, whenever you go and create your instances in public subnet and you want to install certain packages or you want to update your operating system, right? So what you will do here, you will not get the internet access. Let me go and check whether I have the internet access or not. Here you do not have the internet access as well. So what you will do, so for this, what we need to do is we need to create one NAT gateway, or we need to have something like proxy setting wherein we can configure that proxy in this particular private subnet instances and they should be able to access internet. So for that we need to have NAT gateways. NAT gateway, what it will do is it will create one instance, and that instance is that NAT gateway route we need to provide it in public subnet route tables. So how we can go and create NAT gateways? We will just go to this VPC section and here you will get the option of NAT gateways. When we click on create NAT gateways, we will get an option in which subnet we want to deploy. Just choose the subnet. The NAT subnet will be in the public subnet. In the public subnet, my NAT gateway. If you want to allocate the elastic IP address, you want a static IP address for that, you can select a static IP address and we will just click on NAT gateways. I think we need to allocate one. Let me allocate one. So here you can see there is one IP address allocated to that. We click on create NAT gateway. So now this NAT gateway is attached to VPC. We need to attach this to VPC. Action. Okay, there is no attachment required. We will just straight away and we will go to subnets. We will go to route tables, private route table, routes, edit routes, add route 0.0.0. Click on NAT gateway and the NAT gateway and click on save routes. Now we will go and check whether we are able to ping or not. It is not yet. Let me reboot this instance. Sudo init 6. Okay, so that instance is lost because it got restarted. We'll go and check in instances section. Let me enable ping as well for this. So in this security group, let me add ICMP, all IPv4, anywhere, and save. So now you can see I'm able to ping because I've enabled ICMP protocol. We will just go and launch, go to this SSH ping. Okay, yeah, it is there. So now you can see I'm able to access internet using NAT gateways. So now if I want to go and update my operating system, yum update, you can run this command. You need to write sudo because you don't have root privileges. Yum update, and here you can see it is able to communicate over an with an internet, right? You can install yum, install httpd, mysql, whatever you want to install. You should be able to install. You need to write sudo. Here you can see I'm able to install that, right? So this is how private and public subnet works, right? So if you want to have internet access in private subnet, you need to use NAT gateway. And if you want to have internet access and public IPv4 for your instances or for your services, then you need to use public subnets. So I hope this is clear. So this is something which is important topic, and you should go and do a practical on this, hands-on practical, and that is it for today. Anything which you have not understood, then let me know.
No, clear. Once do practical, we'll let you know if anything. અત્યારે જે આપણે ઇન્ટરનેટ આપીએ પ્રાઇવેટ આપી નેટ ગેટવે જે આપીએ આપણે પ્રાઇવેટ આઈપી પર આપીએ, રાઈટ?
NAT gateway will be used for private subnets. Internet
Okay.
gateway will be used for public subnets.
Okay. If you are using NAT, then it will going with the private, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if I want to give internet to the public, then we have to go public gateway.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
एक બીજી વસ્તુ બતાવવાની છે કોઈ subnets. You can go ahead and create a network access control list. You can click network access control list, and here you can define whatever network traffic you want to deny using IP addresses or sources. You can define your network access control list. So here by default you can see everything is allowed, right? Outbound everything is allowed, and inbound is also everything is allowed. Nothing is denied. So you can go and check if something is not working, your traffic is not reaching to your instances. You can go and check two things. One is ACL, and the other is security groups. So if someone has blocked something from access control list, then you might go and see that in this access control associations with particular subnets. And if everything is okay with ACL, then you can go and check with security groups. So these are the two main things from the security point of view. One is security group and one is access control list.
Okay.
Once you are done, make sure whatever you have allocated. So first we will go and delete my first VPC which I have created. Let me go and remove this. So here you can see if I go and delete, unable to delete the following resources. Okay, first I need to remove internet gateway. My first IGW, first I need to click on actions and detach from VPC, detach. अरे यार मेरे को इंस्टेंस पर जाके रिमूव करना पड़ेगा. आज જોઈ પેલા થોડું ડિમો નહીં થાય તો ખોટા ચાર ચડ્યા કરશે. Terminate instance. Detach होता है कि नहीं? Someone has mapped public IP address. Okay. Elastic IP और नेट गेटवे पहले डिलीट करके देखते हैं. नेट गेटवे हो जाना चाहिए तो. Delete NAT gateways. Delete. Okay. Elastic IP. disassociate. अबे हो तो क्या रिमूव क्या है?
અત્યારે આપણું જે ક્રિષ્નાનું ચાલે છે પ્રાઇવેટ ને પબ્લિક બંને ઉપર છે ને, એટલે ફ્રન્ટ એન્ડ એનું પબ્લિક હશે ને બેક એન્ડ માં જે આપણું છે
બધું
પ્રાઇવેટ.
પબ્લિક, બધું પબ્લિક છે.
બધું પબ્લિક છે? શું વાત કરો?
હા તો આપણે બનાવ્યું તો મારી જોડે નતું ને, આ તો ખબર નહીં કોઈ આ તો મેં મારા આયા પછી તો મેં પેલું શું કે આટલું બધું રિસ્ટ્રિક્શન નખાવડાવ્યું એની પર, બાકી તો બધું ખુલ્લે આમ ચાલતું હતું.
અચ્છા
ગમે
હા તો કઈ નહીં, હજુ અત્યારે આપણે બીજું એક આપણે બેકએન્ડ માં લઈ લઈએ, બીજું એક આપણે સર્વર લઈ લઈએ ને કે સ્ટોરેજ ની વાત કરતા હતા, સ્ટોરેજ પણ કરી નાખ્યા. એટલે છે ને એવું હોય ને તો આપણું આ પતે ને એટલે પછી આપણે કલ્પેશભાઈ ને વાત કરીને કે આપણે ડિઝાસ્ટર મોડ રેડી કરી રાખીએ, કદાચ એક ને કંઈક થાય તો બીજું તો રેડી રહે.
does not exist. Internet gateway. First IGW action. Detach from APG. Detach. Okay. Click on this section. Delete. બધું રિમૂવ થઈ ગયું, બધા સબનેટ્સ બનાવ્યા હતા આપણે બધા ડિલીટ થઈ ગયા. રાઉટ ટેબલ્સ ચેક કરી લેવાના, ઇન્ટરનેટ ગેટવેમાં કશું છે નહીં. આ એક તો ડિફોલ્ટ સાથે અટેચ છે એટલા માટે બતાવશે અહીંયા. ઇલાસ્ટિક આઈપી આ કેમ બતાયા કરે ભાઈ, ચલ ને. ઓકે રિલીઝ જ્યારે નેટ ગેટવે બનાવે તો આ આઈપી એટેચ એટલે તને મળશે આઈપી, એટલે એસોસિએટ કરવો પડશે નેટ ગેટવે સાથે. એટલે આને રિલીઝ કરવાનું ભૂલતો નહીં, રિલીઝ નહીં કરે ને તો તારો ચાર્જ ચડ્યા કરશે, ફ્રી પડી રહેશે. નેટ ગેટવે થઈ ગયું. ઓકે ઓલ રાઈટ બડી, ડન ફોર ધીસ.
ઓકે ડન. કાલે કંઈક હશે. આ CIDR.xyz ઓનલી ફોર AWS રાઈટ?
ના રે, CIDR ગમે ત્યાંથી એક્સેસ કરીને. આ તો CIDR એક વેબસાઇટ છે જ્યાંથી સબનેટિંગ માટે યુઝ કરી શકે છે. તારે સબનેટિંગ કરવું હોય ને તો સબનેટિંગ માટે યુઝ કરી શકે છે.
ઓકે ફાઇન, નો પ્રોબ્લેમ.
બરાબર,
ચલો તો કાલે પ્રેક્ટિકલ કરું, તમને હેરાન કરીશ થોડીક વાર.
હા વાંધો નહીં, કરી દે ને.
હા ને, હા
ચાલો
ચાલો, ગુડ નાઇટ. હા.